Welcome everyone to the Appium tutorial. In this module we'll be looking at configuring Appium with Android. Alright, so this is basically the module number 2, which is download Appium with Android. Right, in the module 1 we just saw the introduction to mobile automation. Right, now these are the objectives over here, right, for this module. That is, we'll be configuring and installing Appium and run WhatsApp on a real device as well as simulator. Right, to do this I have jotted down the various steps and all which we'll be following. Alright, now this is a very critical thing, installation of Appium and configuring it. You have to be very systematic and very careful in doing this. Right, you just cannot download Appium and cannot just run it on any device like that. Right, you have to install a lot of things. There are a lot of dependencies. So giving you an overview what it all looks like. Right, first let me show you how it looks like, how the overall picture is like. Fine, so giving you an overview, this is your device. Hold on, this is your, say this is your PC. Fine, this is your computer. Fine, in this computer you actually, what do? You connect the phone. Fine, this is your phone, maybe an Android phone. In my case I'll be using Nexus. Okay, now you want to automate the app inside the phone. Right, in your PC over here you will have Eclipse, in which you will be writing the Appium code. Right, this code will actually send commands. Right, this code will send commands on the phone. Right, okay, and automation will be done. But to do this there are a lot of other things which are required. The first thing which is required is that you should be having Android in your phone, sorry, in your PC. Android installed and configured properly in your PC. Okay, your phone should be detected successfully by Android, only then Appium will work. Okay, this code is Appium code. This will only work when your phone is successfully detected by Android. Right, apart from this there are many other installations and all which you have to take care of. Okay, you need to know the difference between API versions, what is Android version. So there are a lot of things involved in the market or in the installation process. Fine, now one thing guys, with Appium, okay, with Appium you can test iOS as well as Android applications. Right, it is not mandatory to have the code base of Android application in order to test an Android application on the phone or on a simulator. Okay, but it is mandatory to have the code of iOS application in case you want to test any iOS application. Okay, so I can just open any application with Appium on the phone or on a simulator. Okay, I can open WhatsApp or any other application, but in iOS I can only open those applications with which for which I have the code. Right, so right now we will be concentrating on Appium connected with Android phone. Okay, later on as we proceed ahead over here I'll be talking about Appium with iOS on a real device or a simulator, how you do that. Okay, right, so let's move ahead. Right, before moving ahead you need to know the concept of API level and Android version. Okay, every Android phone which you buy from the market, if you go to the market to buy an Android phone, that has an Android version associated with it. Okay, suppose like the versions, they started from 1.5, then 2.0 came into the market, then Android version 3.0, 4.0, now the current version is 5.x. Okay, these are the versions which everybody knows. When you go to the market and you buy the phone, you know that what kind of version of Android you're going to buy. You can also check it out from the phone that which version of Android you are having. I'll tell you in some time, okay, how you will be checking it. Fine, now corresponding to every version of Android there is an API level. Okay, API levels, this thing people don't know. API level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and right now the API level is 21. Okay, now what is an API level? API level is actually used by the developers, okay, the Android developers. Like for example, Selenium is an API. The current version of Selenium is 2.45. Okay, similar to that, Android also has got an API level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 21. Every version of Android which is there in the market, fine, corresponds to certain API level. For example, say I'm just taking a situation or an example over here. Version 3 may be corresponding to API level 5. Okay, that means version 3 will support Android API levels 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the API levels will be supported. Okay, now the latest version 5.x is having the Android API level 21. That means it supports from 1 to 21 API levels. Alright, now the problem is that in between there is an API level which comes up, which is API level 17. Okay, Appium works on API level 17 and above. So if your Android phone is having say version 4, okay, you don't know which API level is that. I'll tell you in some time how to check the API level of your phone. Okay, you don't know what the obviously Android version 3 will not be API 17. I am very sure about that. Okay, so that means if you are having Android version 3, you cannot test with Appium. Now this is a major drawback. That is, Appium will only support Android versions 17 and beyond. Okay, API levels 17 and beyond. Okay, so to make your phone, or to upgrade your phone to the latest Android version, that is possible. You can install the latest version of Android, or you can upgrade your phone. That is possible, provided your provider from whomsoever you have bought this cell phone, he lets you do that. For example, I am having Nexus phone. Okay, Nexus is a phone from Google. Google will always give me free updates. Even if tomorrow Android 7 or 8 or 9 comes up, I can always get it on my phone. But there are providers, a provider like Samsung, which has got restrictions on upgrading the version of Androids on your phone, okay, or other providers, right? So if you are having version 3 on your phone, and if your provider of phone is not letting you upgrade, then you cannot test with Appium. Okay, the only way left with you is to root your mobile phone. Okay, what do you mean by rooting the mobile phone? It means that you format the phone and you install OS again, and you can install any OS. Then the only problem is the warranty guarantee. It expires if you root your phone. Alright, fine. So what about testing the applications on the older versions, that is say API level 16? How will you test that? Right, well, to test that, it is actually recommended to use a tool known as Android, which is little unstable right now. Okay, if you have got API level 17 and beyond, you use Appium. If the API levels are before that, you use Android. Okay, Android will test everything from 1 to 5, and everything it will test, but it is not a very good tool, as good as Appium. Alright, so right now, these things are developing. They will get stabilized over a period of time. Okay, so I hope you understood the point of API levels and Android versions. Right, now let's move ahead and start with the configuration of Appium. Hello everyone, welcome to the current session of QTP training from qtpselenium.com. Look, whether it is QTP or you call it UFT, earlier it was known as QTP, now it is UFT, Unified Functional Testing Tool, right? The core concepts of the tool are same, right? So the first thing which we need to understand is why we use QTP or why we use UFT before we go forward and we see how to download and install it, right? Look, the thing is, obviously when you are testing an application manually and the application is stable enough that you become literally bored testing it manually, right? You can use automation testing tools on it, right? That's why a testing tool like QTP is used. Okay, you know that your application which you are testing every week or every fortnight, okay, it is very stable and there are hardly any bugs in it, so you can simply write some automation scripts to actually do the testing. Fine, that is why we use the automation testing tools. There are a lot of automation testing tools available in the market, like QTP is there, Selenium, Silk Test and all. Okay, now personally I feel QTP is one of the best tools, although it's paid, but yes, you get the value of money as well along with it, and that's why many companies use it, many big companies. Okay, so I think I made it clear when do we use QTP and why do we use QTP. We use it for the regression testing. All the automation testing tools are used during the regression testing phase when the application is stable. These days I have seen people using them in agile kind of testing and all. It is not recommended to use these tools over there because the application is not stable, but still if you want to use, you can. Okay, you might end up wasting some time. Okay, so now the first thing is downloading and installing the trial version of this tool. Okay, this tool, obviously it's a paid tool. You can download the trial version, install it. It is valid for 30 days. Fine, and in those 30 days you can access all the features of this tool. This tool works on Windows, and I think everybody has Windows 7 or Windows 8 these days, right? So the first thing is that to download it, you need to go to google.com and just type download QTP or download UFT, whatever you want. Okay, you'll get a lot of links. Okay, go to the link from HP. Okay, because this tool is owned by HP, you need to download it from HP's website, or you write download UFT. Okay, you will again get the HP link directly. Okay, the latest name of this tool is UFT. Earlier it was known as QTP. So when you open this in new tab, okay, you will have this page coming up. Okay, over here you can actually click on this free trial download link. Hold on. Right, HP Unified Functional 12.02 software. This is the latest version. Okay, you can fill out this form and all, everything. In the end you will get a download link. You can download that. It's quite huge in size, right? It takes a lot of time to download it and all. Okay, so a download manager will be there which will help you to download it. You'll have to install the download manager. Okay, now once you have downloaded it, and you will get a folder like this after extracting the zip file. Okay, you'll get a folder like this, like I have it over here, UFT12. Okay, you'll have a zip file which you'll have to extract. Fine, if you open this UFT folder, you will have a setup file which you'll have to execute. Fine, so hold on. Let me run this setup. Okay, you'll get a lot of options, and you'll get unified functional testing setup. Okay, you click on that and the setup will start. You click on next, accept the terms and conditions, click on next, and you will see various add-ons coming up over here. Look, UFT or QTP can be used to test various type of applications like .NET, Java. You can test desktop based applications as well. You can test web based applications as well, right? So whatever plugins are there right now, these are various add-ons or plugins, we can say. They are more than enough to test any web based applications, right? But if you have some Flash application which needs to be tested, so you need to add the Flash add-on. Or if you have any web or any .NET application, that .NET application which has to be tested, so you need to add the .NET add-on. Okay, so these all add-ons will be installed on your PC. right? It's not necessary that you need to install this add-on right away. You can install them later on as well. Once you have installed UFT, that is also possible. I'll tell you how to do that fine later on. So click on next and click on install. Okay, few of you might get a different window. It might ask you to install Visual C++ setup in the beginning, or you might get a window in which it asks you to restart your PC or something. Click on no over there. Don't restart your PC. Okay, if during the setup anytime it asks you to restart your PC, just don't restart it. I'll tell you when to restart it. Okay, so let it install. I'll just pause the recording for a while. Alright, so I have resumed the recording. Alright, so UFT has installed now on my PC. This is, you'll get the icon like this. If you don't get this icon, you can go in the start menu, you'll get the icon. Alright, now before you start UFT, there are few things which you need to know after you have installed it. Okay, first of all, you need to make sure, okay, I have not written it over here. You need to make sure that, yeah, I have written, you need to turn off UAC, user account control. Okay, and you have to make sure you have installed some add-ons and all. Right, so go to all programs and hold on, you'll have this. When you type UFT, you'll get all these things. If you are not able to find UFT, you can also type over here and you'll see the exe file. Okay, right, now if you go to all programs over here, you will find HP software option. Okay, if you go to this HP software option, inside it you will have UFT obviously. Okay, but inside tools you will have a lot of tools, and one is additional. You'll find something known as additional installation requirements. Click on that. Okay, don't start UFT directly. Okay, click on this, and you know there are some additional configure Internet Explorer settings, configure DCOM settings from ALM. You uncheck all of them. Okay, probably just run one of them, which is configure Internet Explorer settings. Okay, just run this and configure the settings for I. Okay, and close this. Do not run the license installation wizard. Okay, anything, if you do anything wrong, the license can expire and you'll not be able to use the tool again. You'll have to format your machine and you'll have to use it again. Okay, once you have done this, you have to turn off user account control in your machine, UAC. Alright, so UAC control can be turned off like this. You type UAC and you will get the user account control settings. You need to turn it off. You need to make sure that the level is at the bottommost, this leveler is at the bottommost section. Okay, and you will have to switch off your PC. You'll have to restart your PC, sorry. Okay, after doing this, only then things will come into things will fall into the places. Right, now moving ahead, now this makes UFT ready. Okay, now if you start this UFT, you'll see a window like this coming up. Hold on, it will tell that the license will expire in so many days. Never click on install license icon. You'll never be able to start UFT again. Don't click on this. Okay, click on continue and click on OK. Right, let it open. Hold on. So this is UFT. It will open like this. Okay, now I'll come over to it. There are few things which I need to discuss. The first thing is QTP UFT versus other automation testing tools. Do you have other testing tools like Selenium is there and all? Selenium is one of the major tools which is used. Okay, now if you go by my opinion, initially there was no demand for Selenium. The demand was very less. Okay, but with time the demand has increased. Alright, with time the demand for Selenium has increased and the demand for QTP obviously has gone down, but still there are companies which are using it. Okay, now it doesn't mean that it's not a good tool. Look, the thing is, it's the best tool if you have got the budget to buy the license. Okay, it's worth buying. The automation is faster on this tool. The amount of time which you'll take to write script on QTP or UFT is much less than other tools. Alright, it is a foolproof tool. It works almost all the times. I've never seen this tool failing. Okay, right. On a tool like Selenium, if I talk about, there can be a script which you make today, tomorrow it might fail, you might face issues, but things like that never happen in UFT. Okay, so these are certain advantages of UFT as well. Okay, and it can also support desktop based applications which are not supported by Selenium. Okay, the disadvantage is that it doesn't work on multiple platforms like Mac. They say that it's compatible now. I'm not sure how much compatible is it, right? Directly you cannot work on Chrome and all those browsers, right? The most preferred browser in UFT is IE. Okay, now, and these are the few of the disadvantages of QTP or UFT, right? The easier thing is that it is easy to learn this tool. You need to learn VB scripting, okay, which is very easy. We'll be doing that in the training. Okay, now how much VB scripting is required? You need to have a good knowledge of VB scripting. We'll be doing in the training. Okay, simple record and run, yes. So this feature is there in every automation tool. Every automation tool has this feature of simple record and run. Okay, what is that? You open UFT and you create a new test, a simple GUI test you can create. Alright, and then you can start recording and running. Hold on, just a minute, it's creating the test. Alright, so you just open the test and you'll find this icon. Okay, you'll find this icon to record. You click on this and there are few settings. Just keep the settings right now like this. Okay, and click on OK, and what will happen is that QTP or UFT will go in the recording mode. You open a new browser and say you go to the website, any website, say bbc.com, right, and you click on the link over here. So in UFT, some of you might see the code being generated, like this is being generated over here. Okay, some of you might not see the code being generated. If you don't see the code being generated, don't worry. Okay, watch the next module. I'll tell you what are the various reasons when you might not be able to work with UFT. So whatever you record gets recorded in this script. Okay, and you can play it back. You can click on this play icon and run it. So this kind of feature is there in every automation tool. Okay, so if you're not able to record it or if you are not able to run it, don't worry. Okay, in the next module I'm going to discuss about that, right? So script got stuck on the second line. Yes, obviously it has to get stuck over here. Okay, I will not go into the intricacies, like, yeah, it's working now. Okay, so in the end you get a panel like this. This is a result panel. Okay, so now in this, the thing is, these are the results of running the test. Okay, this will tell you the summary, passed, failed tests and all, everything. If you don't want this window to come up every time, okay, most of you won't want that whenever you run this window comes up, right? You don't want it to come up every time. You can disable this window as well. Okay, I'll talk about everything. Fine, just be with me as we proceed with the course. You'll come to know. Fine. Okay, so you can go to this tools and options, and over here under run sessions you can uncheck the option view results when run session ends, so the results will not come up. Okay, so there are a lot of other settings also which you need to do. So this was a simple record run scenario which I just covered. Okay, which another question which most of the people ask me, that which application will we test? Will we be doing any live application testing? Yes, we'll be doing up the live testing as well, but please be with me. Okay, it's not something which you can do in one day. First you have to learn the basics, fundamentals, VB scripting, descriptive programming. Alright, so a lot of other things, AOM, automation object model, lot of things are involved, and then we can start off with the end-to-end application. Alright, so now you can watch the second module.